Hello dear students. In this video, we are going to study a very important chapter from your textbook in Political Science class 12th, Politics in India since Independence, and the chapter is Challenges of Nation Building. Challenges of Nation Building, chapter number 1. Now let's move to the first heading. Challenges for the new nation. Challenges for the new nation. India gained independence at the midnight on August 14-15, 1947. Jawaharlal Nehru's iconic Tryst with Destiny speech marked the occasion. Despite shared aspirations for democratic governments and social welfare, the nation faced immense challenges. Independence coincided with partition, leading to widespread violence and displacement in 1947. Despite these adversities, India embarked on its journey with determination to fulfill its objectives, with leaders mindful of the numerous challenges ahead. Let's move further, but first do subscribe to this channel. Now the next main heading. Three challenges. The passage outlines three main challenges faced by independent India. Number 1. Nation building and unity. Number 1 is nation building and unity. Immediately after gaining independence, India had to unite a diverse population comprising various languages, cultures, and religions. The fear was that such diversity could lead to disintegration, especially after the traumatic partition. Questions arose about whether India could remain unified while respecting regional and subnational identities. Integrating the vast territory of India was also a pressing concern. Now, number 2. Establishing democracy. India aimed to establish a democratic system as enshrined in its constitution. Fundamental rights and universal suffrage were granted to all citizens. However, implementing democratic practices in accordance with the constitution was a challenge. It was a very big challenge. The goal was to ensure political competition within a democratic framework. Now, challenge number 3, very important. Number 3, social development and well-being. Social development and well-being. Another challenge was to promote the development and welfare of the entire society, particularly marginalized and disadvantaged groups. The Constitution emphasized equality and provided special protections for such groups. The directive principles of state policy outlined welfare goals for democratic politics to achieve. Effective policies for economic development and poverty eradication were needed to address these challenges. The passage also prompts reflection on how India responded to these challenges and the extent to which it succeeded in achieving the objectives set out by the Constitution. It suggests that understanding the political history of India since independence is crucial for formulating answers to these questions. The subsequent chapters take us into each challenge, starting with nation building, followed by democracy establishment and economic development with equality and justice. Let's move to the next very important heading. Partition, displacement and rehabilitation. Partition, displacement and rehabilitation. In 1947, the partition of British India resulted in the creation of two separate nation states, India and Pakistan. This division marked the culmination of political events, including the advocacy of the two-nation theory by Muslim League, which argued that Hindus and Muslims were distinct peoples needing separate nations. Despite opposition from the Congress, various political factors including competition between the Congress and the Muslim League and British involvement led to the decision to establish Pakistan as a separate country for Muslims. The next heading, process of partition. The next heading, process of partition. The process of partition, which occurred in 1947, involved the division of British India into two separate nations, India and Pakistan. The decision to partition was based on religious majorities, with areas where Muslims were in the majority forming Pakistan, while the rest remained with India. However, this seemingly straightforward division presented numerous challenges. Firstly, there were two main concentrations of Muslim majority areas, one in the west and one in the east, which couldn't be geographically connected. Thus, Pakistan was divided into West and East Pakistan, separated by Indian territory. Additionally, not all Muslim majority areas wished to join Pakistan, exemplified by leaders like Khan Abdul Ghaffar Khan, whose opposition was disregarded. Secondly, provinces like Punjab and Bengal had significant non-Muslim populations. Consequently, these provinces were partitioned at the district level based on religious majorities, leading to uncertainty for many residents regarding their nationality post-independence. The partition process led to one of the largest forced migrations in history, with millions of Hindus, Sikhs, and Muslims fleeing their homes due to violence and insecurity. Cities became divided along communal lines, and refugees faced immense suffering, often encountering hostility and violence during their journey. Women and children were particularly vulnerable, facing abduction, forced conversion, and even honor killings. The consequences of partition extended beyond human suffering to the division of assets, administrative apparatus, and communities. Estimates suggest that around 80 lakh people migrated and between 5 to 10 lakh people lost their lives in partition-related violence. Furthermore, the partition raised questions about India's identity as a secular nation. Despite the formation of Pakistan as a Muslim-majority state, India retained a significant Muslim population. The leaders of the Indian national movement rejected the two-nation theory and advocated for equality and secularism. This ideal was enshrined in the Indian Constitution, ensuring equal rights for citizens regardless of their religious affiliation. Overall, the partition process was marked by violence, displacement, and deep-seated communal tensions, leaving a lasting impact on the socio-political landscape of the Indian subcontinent. Now, the next very important heading, integration of princely states. Integration of princely states. Stay tuned till the end, please. Integration of princely states, the background now. Prior to independence, British India was composed of British Indian provinces and princely states. The former were directly governed by the British, while the latter were ruled by local princes under the suzerainty of British Crown. Princely states covered a significant portion of India's land area and population. The next heading, the problem. What was the problem? With the impending end of the British rule, the question arose regarding the status of the princely states. The British announced that their paramountcy over these states would lapse, effectively granting them independence. However, this decision was left to the princely rulers, which posed a serious threat to the unity of India. Some rulers expressed desires for independence or hesitated to join either India or Pakistan, risking further fragmentation. Now, next heading, government's approach. Government's approach to this problem. India's interim government, led by figures like Sardar Patel, took a firm stance against the division of India into numerous small principalities. Negotiations were conducted with the princely rulers to persuade them to accede to the Indian Union. This was a complex task given the diverse sizes and administrations of the princely states. The government's approach was guided by three main considerations. Popular will. Number one, popular will. Most people in the princely states desired to join India. Flexibility. Autonomy was offered to regions, accommodating their diverse demands. Territorial consolidations. Territorial consolidations. In this, ensuring the territorial integrity of the nation was crucial, especially after partition. Then, integration efforts. Integration efforts. Before independence, negotiations led to the accession of most contiguous princely states into the Indian Union through documents like the Instrument of Accession. However, certain states like Junagadh, Hyderabad, Kashmir and Manipur posed challenges. Now let's study the major case studies. Number one, Hyderabad. Hyderabad. Case study number one. Hyderabad, the largest princely state, desired independent status but was surrounded entirely by Indian territory. A movement against the oppressive Nizam's rule, particularly in the Telangana region, gained momentum. The Nizam's paramilitary force, the Razakars, unleashed atrocities. Indian government intervened militarily, leading to Hyderabad's accession to India. Now, case study number two, Manipur. Number two is Manipur. The Maharaja of Manipur acceded to India before independence with assurances of maintaining internal autonomy. Pressure from public opinion led to elections in Manipur, making it the first part of India to hold elections based on universal adult franchise. Despite opposition, the Maharaja signed a merger agreement with India, causing resentment among the people. Now, the conclusion. The integration of princely states into the Indian Union was a complex process involving negotiations, persuasion, and in some cases, military intervention. It was a crucial step towards maintaining the unity and territorial integrity of independent India. However, challenges and resentment in certain regions persisted, reflecting the complexities of post-colonial nation building. Now, the next very important heading, Reorganization of States. Reorganization of States. The reorganization of states in India post-independence was a complex process driven by the need to accommodate linguistic and cultural diversity while maintaining national unity. Initially, colonial era boundaries were drawn for administrative convenience, ignoring linguistic and cultural affinities. However, the nationalist movement advocated for linguistic principles as the basis for state formation, aiming to reflect the diverse identities within the country. The decision to postpone linguistic reorganization after independence was motivated by concerns about potential disruption, disintegration, and the need to address other pressing social economic challenges. Are you getting something? However, local demands for linguistic states, such as the Vishalandhra movement in Andhra Pradesh, gained momentum due to the central government's indecision. Potty Sriramulu's sacrifice through a hunger strike intensified the movement, leading to violent protests and eventually the formation of Andhra Pradesh in 1952. The success of the Andhra Pradesh formation spurred similar movements across the country, prompting the central government to establish the States Reorganization Commission in 1953. States Reorganization Commission in 1953. The Commission recommended redrawing state boundaries based on linguistic criteria, leading to the States Reorganization Act of 1956, which created 14 states and 6 union territories. Initially, there were concerns that linguistic states might breed separatism and threaten national unity. However, under popular pressure, the leadership ultimately embraced linguistic states as a means to accommodate regional aspirations and promote democracy. The formation of linguistic states democratized politics by opening avenues for non-elite regional leaders. Contrary to fears, linguistic reorganization strengthened national unity by recognizing and accepting diversity. Overall, the creation of linguistic states transformed the landscape of democratic politics in India, emphasizing the acceptance of differences and plurality within the nation. This choice reaffirmed India's commitment to democracy as a system that accommodates diverse ideas and ways of life. In conclusion, India's journey from independence in 1947 to the present day has been marked by remarkable resilience and determination in the face of numerous challenges. Despite the traumatic experience of partition and the subsequent displacement and violence, the nation forged ahead with the task of nation building, democracy establishment, and social development. The integration of princely states and the reorganization of states based on linguistic principles further exemplified India's commitment to unity amidst diversity. While the road has been fraught with obstacles and complexities, India has demonstrated its ability to navigate through them, adapting and evolving along the way. The ideals enshrined in the Constitution, including secularism, democracy, and social justice, have provided a guiding light for the nation's progress. As we reflect on India's journey, it becomes evident that the challenges faced in the past continue to shape the nation's present and future. By confronting these challenges head-on and upholding the values of inclusivity and unity, India continues to strive towards a brighter, more prosperous future for its citizens. This is the end of this video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next video.